All eyes on me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me.
More than 5,000 kilometres separate these two teams, but only 2 points separate them on the ladder, and it's all to play for here in the 9th distance derby. Hello and welcome for the first time this season to the Sam Kerr Football Centre. It's Perth Glory taking on Wellington Phoenix in round 7 of the Ninja A-League. Well, the home side, Perth Glory, coming off a bye in 4 consecutive losses. They'll be looking to pick up their first points since round 1 to get them off the foot of the table. And Wellington Phoenix were agonisingly close to at least getting a share of the points last week against reigning premiers Melbourne City, but faced their first defeat instead. Of course, this is just the first game across the round. Let's have a look at the other fixtures in round 7. Huge day of action tomorrow as Melbourne Victory take on Adelaide United at Amy Park before a top-of-the-table clash between the high-flying Canberra United and Melbourne City. We finish that off by going across to Western Sydney Wanderers and Central Coast Mariners on Sunday, and then the final match of the round will be played on Tuesday the 13th of January between Sydney FC and the Newcastle Jets. Well, lots of fans packing out Sam Kerr Football Centre. Of course, the first game being played here in the 2025-2026. And of course, you can't help but feel that there's a lot of people here to see one player in particular, and it's not for the player on the home side either. A lot of Nepalese fans here to see their international star, Samba, as both teams make their way out onto the pitch. Well, Stephen Peters and Perth Glory have made 6 changes to the starting lineup that lost to 3-0 to Melbourne Victory almost 2 weeks ago. Captain Isabel Dalton returns after missing the last 2 games due to injury. Clancy Westaway gets her first start after debuting in her hometown last game. Teresa Morrissey makes her Ninja A-League debut this evening. She was awarded the New South Wales NPLW Goalkeeper of the Year in 2024 at a Stephen Peters coach MacArthur Rams, and is coming off a Victorian NPLW winning campaign with Box Hill United. She was on the bench in the grand final last season with the Central Coast Mariners, but will now start between the sticks after recovering from a back injury that's kept her out of this season so far for the Glory. Football fan Victoria Essen returns to the starting lineup after missing last week's 1-0 loss to Melbourne City after picking up a calf injury on international duty. Nepali international Samba survived an injury scare to keep her spot in the starting lineup, and Lucia Leon is promoted to the starting 11. Young star Clea Block drops to the bench. Well, it is a Wellington Phoenix starting debut for Lucia Leon tonight. She missed the early part of the season due to a hamstring injury after coming across from Adelaide United in the off-season. With 5 goals and 26 appearances in her first season of the Ninja A-League, it'll be exciting to see what she's able to produce in her second. Well, after 3 consecutive away trips, Stephen Peters was grateful for last week's bye for an opportunity to reset. He said the back-to-back trips took their toll both on the team physically and mentally, and it's certainly been the psychological side they're looking to improve on in their games. Referee for today's game is Michaela Ryan. She'll be assisted by Misu Park and Paula Orlandi. The 4th official is Liam Barclay. And Bev Priestman was impressed with her side's performance despite the outcome in Sunday's game. It's the fine margins and little details that she said that side has been working on. The Phoenix have been in Perth since Monday, which has given them plenty of time to adjust to both the weather and the time difference heading into this late night clash. And of course, a very special match ball deliverer this evening here in Perth too. And of course, a very Christmassy themed one with a tinsel too. A big round of applause as both teams make their way out onto the pitch. Well, Phoenix in their white and green away kit, and of course all eyes are on Samba, the Nepali international. Came off and injured in that 58th minute, but Coach Bev Priestman said that she was only due to play 60 minutes anyway, so not too much of a scare. She has that really heavily strapped right knee, but we're looking to create some more magic. We saw plenty of goal-creating opportunities for the Phoenix in last week's game. And of course, plenty of people here to cheer her on. She's had a travelling contingent at every away game so far this season. You can see just how important the leading goal scorer for the Nepali international side. And Gabby Holler gets back underway to start round 7 of the Ninja A-League. It's a long ball pumped in the distance for Bronte True. And Phoenix will start their game with a throw deep in their own half. Kick forward almost into the path of True. Finding their way through was Holler again. An early call with the flag. So it's been an interesting matchup between these two, of course. This is the 9th fixture and 8 so far. We've seen, of course, 5 wins to the glory, 3 to the Phoenix. Wellington have had the upper hand in the last 5 fixtures, but it was Perth Glory in the last time they played here in February, winning this one too. Push down the line. Foul called early. Of course, it is quite the warm evening here in Perth. 32.5 the reading on the Mercury. Players will look to adjust. And of course, Wellington having spoken about the fact that they've had to try training in the heat to different conditions to what a lot of them would be used to back home in New Zealand in their regular training. Essence surveying her options. Picked up well by McKenna. In the centre of the park it goes. Through to Bott, the captain for the Phoenix this season. Well, Manai Elliott rather. Claiming the ball there, had a great opportunity in that game against City last week, denied by City's goalkeeper in Miros, who had to pull out some quite fine saves to really stop Phoenix from scoring. Beautiful ball across this time to Wall. She'll look to take on Johnston. Wall will whip it in. Oh, and had to be parried away by Morrison. Not quite out of danger for the Glory. Nix keep a hold of an off balance. Was the captain in Dalton trying to scoop it away from danger. And it looks like Elliott goes to ground and Perth keep a hold of it. Plays continues. Barry looking to just put it out for the moment. As Mariah Elliott still seems to be on the deck, just taking that hit from Rolla Badawea. Lovely ball going across the field and then whipped in by Wall. Well, the aim there was for Samba, and it could be something very special in the Ninja A-League, and that's just a little look at the clash between Badawea and Elliott. Of course, with these warm conditions, you can't help but think that sometimes and especially the frantic start we've seen to this game, these players were enjoying any respite they can, just getting caught behind Badawea. Phoenix will play it back. McKenna just caught the back of the feet of Badawea. Nunn sees it go out. Oh, look at that just a little bit of mistimed communication. Not quite seeing the direction of the run. Still early days, headed down the line by Zog. Lucia Leon had to try and fight past Anderson. In the end, concedes the foul to the Perth Glory defender. A little bit of a tug of the shirt there from Anderson, but again, just trying to get out of the way. Leon was absolutely brilliant in her campaign last year with Adelaide United. It was quite the handy pickup for Wellington Phoenix in the off-season. Morrissey plays it to Johnston. Looks for a releasing ball. There's plenty of speed in the attack line for Glory. Still rolling slowly out for the goal kick for the Phoenix. We've seen plenty of changes in that attack line for Perth throughout the season so far. Of course, haven't scored in their last 3 games. It equals the record An unfortunate streak to be having to go goalless for that long, but plenty of players who've found the back of the net, both for the Glory and for other teams in the Ninja A-League. The ball just asking potentially a little bit too much from Johnston. And keep moving. Dalton coming in with a lovely interception, but can't quite direct it back to play. It's a great pickup from Westaway. Down the line goes Badawiya. Puts in the centre. Had to be headed back by Vandermeer. Dalton again pushing forward. Holler puts it to the ground under the feet of Bott. It's getting a little bit scrappy, but Perth, they're determined to push it forward. It's a lovely ball from Westaway. Badawiya looks to cross it in. And Perth Glory, rightfully so, wins their first corner. Again, it's just the relentless attack from the Glory at the moment. Phoenix have been quite tidy defensively so far this season. Badawiya, and sliding in was Mackenzie Barry, just trying to put it out. Georgia Cassidy to be the player in charge of this corner kick. Cassidy comes in low and flat. Well, the shouts for a handball instead, the corner given. So again, Phoenix not quite. Another look there to see Leon. Looked like it was away from the body in that moment. Cassidy again goes for a higher, loftier time. Holler connects with it, but it floats backwards. Back of the head of Westaway. And you really feel the crowd getting involved every single time. There's an opportunity for Samba to get a touch of the ball. Johnston looking to push down the line. Barry. Just enough from Vandermeer to prevent the corner. Another throw in for the Glory here. Jale. Now the Phoenix look to make their move on the run. None. And such speed at her disposal. Not afraid for the foot race against Sog. And just pushed out for a goal kick. Well, Phoenix can really showcase how they're able just to tear apart with the speed they've got on this side. Sog just doing just enough to make it difficult, to make her really have to push those passes in front of her and those little touches. Morrissey to the head of Holler. Enough direction on the header from Bott to keep it moving forward. Bott dancing through the middle, gets it tangled up in players. Perth now look to try and make something of it. Just getting sandwiched between all the Perth Glory defenders in that moment.
Right up, Rocky, right up. Right up. Go, Rocky, go.
There's some under pressure from True. A little look at the possession so far, relatively even. 42 Perth, 58 for Wellington. Cassidy. See Johnston drifting out wide. Anderson looks to go back. That's a difficult ball, but just enough. You really have to feel that the fans are here for one player only. It's Going to be hostile for Perth at their own home ground. Of course, they're here for this player in question. Bit of opportunity the teams, but nothing really clear cut as of yet. Perth with the better of the chance. We haven't seen a shot registered for either team, and just looks like Jale down at the moment. She's played every minute of the season so far for the Phoenix. Of course, played for Perth Glory 2 seasons ago. Just seems to have just taken that at an awkward angle at the top of her head. You just need to be really careful in those situations. An absolute ripper ball from Cassidy, and just luckily that connection, the velocity of that ball. Again, the Wellington side and Bev Priestman just looking for those moments to have those conversations with players. Play continues. Jale returns to the field. Johnston to Dalton. Anderson wants to pump it long. Holler. Sneaky with the back flick. Perth just carving up through the field. Playing it back now. Exercising a little bit of patience. Here comes the press from the Phoenix. Leon makes sure she's on the right side of the ball, misjudges the run from Wall. And we did see Lucia Leon. That's beautiful work there from Gabby Holler, just with a little bit of a backflip. The last week's game, we saw Leon replace Wall, so this is their first competitive minutes in the league together. Still working out those combinations. Advantage paid by Michaela Ryan. Samba. Jale. And the first touch from Wall, just caught her on the back foot. Both teams really amping up that physical presence despite the hot conditions here in Western Australia. Wall, Samba, Jale, looking to get themselves out of a tight situation. Just getting in front. Now Badawea. The ball with the delivery, wasn't quite sure if it was Payne, but true. Or Westaway. The passing accuracy, Wellington Phoenix definitely edging out Perth at the moment. They've just been the side with a little bit more of that build-up of play. Perth just really trying to press forward and move forward as quickly as they can as soon as they gain possession. Cassidy-Johnston connection keeps working strong. Again, it's just the next pass onwards into that final third directed towards True. Bronte True, another player who spent considerable time under Stephen Peters at Macarthur Rams in the NPLW in New South Wales. A real proven goal scorer, of course, played with the Western Sydney Wanderers last season too. 2 goals in the final 2 games of the season. Now, here come the Phoenix. Lovely ball from Leon. Samba looks to dance one way and the other. Can she find the connection there? Samba! And it sails over the top. But my goodness, that was an exciting opportunity for the Phoenix. The crowd are absolutely behind it too. It's a great delivery through from Leon. She's done enough to bring it in. Had the power behind the shot, just too much in fact. He is an absolute superstar. You can't help but wonder. It's the when, not the if when it comes to her goal scoring. True, judges the bounce well. And Mackenzie Barry just always that last line of defense for the Phoenix. She's been pretty much synonymous with their back line since they joined the competition. Now Holler whips it in. She sails over the heads of everyone in the box. Elliott with the look to pump along. Samba with the flick overhead, and almost look to be a little bit caught up in the wind here. Just the technique on the shot too. And see exactly what this means to these players. And these fans here. Oh, it could have been another moment. Well, with the opportunities that we've seen so far in this game, it could be looking like a Samba highlights reel by the time we hit halftime. Wall again did well, and just that beat off. But the play looks positive for the Phoenix. Walker. The Phoenix always looking forward, always looking for that run. Morrissey just taking her time before she picks up the ball. We'll look to the final third entries so far. 11 to Perth, 10 to Wellington. Both teams progressing forward quite well. No goals to break this deadlock as of yet. And just the one shot apiece. Neither on target for either team. The work that Lara Wall does, there's so much up high in the pitch. You can see how the Phoenix transition their defensive shape too. I almost look to have that little flick on, knowing that ball will be behind her. Anderson just catching Leon. Again, the run is on. Lara Wall just camping out, stretching the defense for the Perth Glory very wide. The scooped up ball from Leon. And she's making sure to kind of protect the space. Just enough from Perth to keep it and clear it. Phoenix doing well to absorb the pressure. No giveaway there. And Bhandari knew that wasn't going to be her opportunity to run onto. Again, Wall puts it almost to the feet of Samba, goes through. Well, no whistle. Play continues. I think it's a little bit of confusion of them in the way the defenders were shaping up. Another look there. Again, just a little bit of miscommunication. Samba quickest to the ball. Peters watching very eagerly. Lovely tap on from Elliott to Nunn. Again, well, the Phoenix have really settled into this game. And while the possession stats might not be completely indicative of the work that they've been doing, it does feel like they've had more of that forward pressure that flick from Samba, but decides not to strike it first time. Puts it wide to Wall. Wall. Not quite squares it up. Anderson has to put it out for a corner. With the first corner we see for the Phoenix, you can just see there the confidence from Lara Wall to really invite that challenge in. Elliott, looks like a training drill here from the Phoenix. Nunn comes out, puts it up. The header goes up. There's a scramble in the box, and Gabby Holler is called upon to clear the ball. Another good opportunity there for the Phoenix. They claim the ball back too. It's a Hardy deflection. Dalton has gone to ground. So another look at the chance there. Beautifully whipped in ball. Just connects with the head of Vandermeer. It hits the post. It's just the collision between Walker and Dalton. He's had a bit of an injury run as of late, the captain for the Perth Glory. Both teams quick to run over, get some water in these hot conditions. It's just a very heavy clash and then straight to the ground. Seems to be holding at that shoulder. Of course, both players have a look at, and a lot of conversation here from the Perth Glory. Well, the Phoenix, well, they've been in Perth since Monday, and they've had the opportunity to have time to adjust these conditions, but they've also had some time for those team activities too. Bev Priestman spoke about the fact that they had a team night where they actually drew each other and had to guess which player had drawn who. And we know right before Unite Round last season too, the Phoenix spent a week away, had that camp, and it led to their first win of the season. So they have had good success before when they have had an away trip in Australia between games and a short turnaround where they have produced results directly afterwards. And Dalton's back on her feet, just going through those final tests. Looks like she'll be fine to rejoin the pitch, which is great news and great to see. Out of play. Dalton gets given the all clear to come back on. Phoenix. It's an awkward position, and it's just good coverage there from Grace Johnston. Just put her body bullside in whatever way she can. She's not the tallest defender we have in this league, but she's really smart in the way that she positions her body, especially coming against taller players. Has more experience. Grace Johnston, who's a young Matilda's representative. Along the ground to Nunn. Tries to put it in the air. Just enough for McKenna. Elliott looked very, very threatening in that moment. Morrissey just going for the safest possible option. Samba, two defenders on her, wins the corner. Really the only chance at the moment to not give her any of that space to wind up and have a crack. We saw almost a training routine from the Phoenix on the last corner that they had. Will they go for something similar, or will they go? More floating option in. Well, Jalo was there at the back post, but couldn't quite connect, sailed right over her head. And Phoenix haven't been afraid to change up what they have done in their three corners so far. Two, rather. Well, we saw her go down the opening minutes again. Another awkward collision. This time with McKenna. Just landing very heavily on that lower back. There, the ooze coming from the crowd is true. To make good on her press. He couldn't even quite keep it in. Perth conceding the corner from some distance. So now the third corner for the Phoenix. Well, we saw that short play in the first one, the longer option to the back post where Jale was sitting for the second. All to take the third. Enemy and Samba lurking. The shape him set up a little bit different this time. Nunn comes in. Flashes just over the head and bounces out. Really high, lofty delivery. Samba almost looked to direct it downwards for the bounce into the back of the net. So look to how the possession is sitting across the 3/3. Not surprising that we're seeing the bulk of it in that defensive third for the Perth Glory. Phoenix have been creating their chances, been patient with their play, winning it back in crucial moments too. West away. Again, we've seen that almost repetitive action from the Glory to really try and pump it long, try and use that speed on the wings, but haven't had much success connecting with those particular players, whether it be Badawea on the left or True on the right, just as yet. Just away. Asking for support to move forward. Johnston. Lovely delivery into True. Takes her speed. Looks to try and cut inside. West away. Pulls on her left boot. Headed up and high by Barry. Badawea takes the ball to the ground. And eventually McKenna pushes it in to the body of Elliott. Let's have another look at that build-up of play from the Glory. Some great work there. Took a little bit of deflection before hitting the head of Barry in the end, resulting in a corner for them. And it's a beautiful purple sky here. Wonder if that is a positive sign coming into this corner kick. Holler has no option but up. And sails high, high over the crossbar. And always looking towards that back post. Barry looking for a little bit higher to get around the players. Perth holding their defensive shape well. Again, Lara Wall, she's just been everywhere. It's a player who's heat mapped. Just can't help but sink out after a match, just for the sheer amount of ground that she's able to cover. Recent football fern made her debut against the US in October. Definite tug of the shirt, and it's straight into the book for Anya Zog. And given Michaela Ryan no option directly in front of her too, and first yellow card of the game. Another moment, regretfully, on the ground for Manaya Elliott. He's been caught in a fair few clashes already in the opening 36 minutes of this game. So, relatively low foul count we've seen so far in this first half. Just the 1 to the Phoenix, 3 to Perth. 1 yellow card now in the book. Long ball pumped in. Again, well, can't help but think, the ball from Jale spotted Morrissey a little bit off her line, decides to just go for that chance. Potentially just maybe looking for a more direct route. Strong header from Jale. Conceded from Cassidy on Leon. So not in a pretty good situation here for the Phoenix. Just stepping on the foot of Leon. Can't help but wonder what the play will be here from the Phoenix. Jale just almost skimmed off the head. Tian McKenna.
You want me to drop this? Like you just did then, perfect. Tell them you can't leave until they tuck in after you leave.
Straight out for a goal kick. And here Bev Priestman as well, giving those instructions. Very vocal with her players. And again, the Phoenix able to win back ball. Vandermeer showing off her skills. Pushing forward, Leon. No trust from Grace Johnson that, well, given the speed we've seen from Lara Wall throughout this game, that she really needs to put that one out to not allow her any opportunity. But great work from Brooke Nunn. Long throw, the option. Headed directly in the air. Will be a corner given. So the pressure has been relentless. Elliott, again, that low ball whipped in. Well, skims off the back of Badawea. None. Goes one way, then the other. Wall decides to have a hit. Again, another strong series of opportunities for the Wellington Phoenix, but just can't find the back of the net. McKenna wants to go back, was running out of space. Another foul given away by the Glory. Again, Benaya Elliott. I think that's potentially the 4th or 5th time we've seen her flat against the grass so far this evening. Of course, Wellington have only scored the 3 goals so far this season, had the bye in round 1, of course, as well, and conceded 3. Jale to take again, goes a long option. Another corner given. There's been no respite for the Glory defence. Elliott looking for the back post. Morrissey goes up. Can't quite parry it fully away. Connects with the boot of Dalton. Wall. And it's a loopy ball off the boot. Just straight out for a goal kick. The back post the option this time. You can see Vandermeer just lurking. Samba central as well. So Wellington upping their shot tally as we enter the final couple of minutes of regulation time in this first half. Elliott. Collar. With the hit and hope almost, just to try and push it as far forward and hope there was a Glory player in the space.
Offside, drop it down.
Oh, look at the last chance for the Phoenix. Ball well won by Elliott. Space to move. Connects with Samba. And another corner won by the Phoenix. They've been relentless in their pursuit forward throughout this first half.
Tell Lawrence this one.
Of course, you can see how heavily strapped that right knee is. And seemingly grabbing at that other leg that isn't strapped. I know she was on almost managed minutes last week and had to come off around the hour mark too. Wall. Punched away by Morrissey. Swung back into the mixer. Takes a hefty deflection. Mason just wants to bring it forward.
Going up with 3 minutes.
Another long ball, Samba. Just looks like it gets under the foot Well, there's confirmation that will be a minimum of 3 minutes added on in this first half, and no team yet to break the deadlock. But the pressure has been there. The attacking intent has been there. Both teams really looking to move forward any given opportunity that they have. Tug of the shirt from Holla. Blood knows for her troubles too.
Jump on you.
Jale caught in a Perth Glory sandwich. Another look there. Just that straight left out, go straight into the nose of Holla. Blood almost immediately pouring out too. Gabby Holla scored that brace in round one. Played for the Preston Lions. No, played in the NPLW Victoria a couple of seasons ago too. Got signed up with Perth last season. Scored her first goals, of course, almost a year ago against Adelaide here in this very venue.
Oh, that you just hold it? Okay.
Scored another brace that day too. Play resumes. Jale. Walker. The ball bouncing off the heads of players. Not trying to connect any way she can to direct it towards the goal. Samba. Great vision for Elliott. And another corner one for the Phoenix. And they're sitting on 6 so far. Make that 7. Plenty of action deep in their attacking third throughout the half. I think there'd be some extra time added on because of that injury to Holla. We're very quickly approaching the end of the allotted 3 minutes and beyond. Elliott, the scramble somehow doesn't find the back of the net. Leon. And it's an easy collection from Morrissey to bring some calmness to the situation. Michaela Ryan blows her whistle, and it's an end of a very frenetic first half of football here in Perth. And plenty of opportunities for both teams, but in particular the Wellington Phoenix. Sama in particular having so much involvement in the attacking play for Wellington in this game so far. Morrissey in her debut game for the Perth Glory. So at halftime here at St. Kerr Football Centre, it's Perth Glory 0, Wellington Phoenix 0. So no out goals as of yet in this match, but plenty of exciting moments. Lara Wool has been fairly dominant in that fullback position for the Phoenix, and of course Samba You always hear how excited the fans are here for the opposition player. As soon as she gets on the ball, has had quite a few chances and goal-creating chances as well alongside her teammates. That one just flicking under her feet. And of course, Gia Leon had some minutes last week. Has been coming back from a hamstring injury, combining well with Wall. And McKenna really forced to dig deep in that situation to ensure that it wasn't a stray own goal into the back of her own net. Some defending from the post there to help Perth Glory keep this clean sheet so far. Yeah, mainly one-way traffic throughout the game has been pretty evident in the highlights too, that the Phoenix have been the side with the more plentiful chances and the more dangerous chances too. And a quick look at the stats. Phoenix, of course, edging out Glory on possession and on shots, 6-2. Just haven't got that shot on target either side as of yet. The final third entries as well really favouring the Phoenix, and of course just that solo yellow card to Zog. And of course the corners very heavily in favour of the Phoenix. Well, we'll be heading to a break. Make sure you stick around for the second half very shortly. Welcome back, of course. We're here at the Sam Kerr Football Centre for round 7 of the Ninja A-League between Perth Glory and Wellington Phoenix. No side able to break the deadlock as of yet, but there has been some pretty exciting moments, especially for the Phoenix. And there's one player in particular a lot of fans are here to see, and that is, of course, Samba, the Nepali international. Well, we caught up with her to have a chat in the lead up to this season.
Sabitra Bhandari Samba. I'm from Nepal. My position is number 9, striker. Sunburn behind. There's the blistering pace. Oh, she's through and on goal. This could be a dream star.
In India, it's like better than Nepal's league, and after that I went to Israel, then better than India, and after that I went in France. That one is the best quality league I never seen before, and then I'm here right now. So we have to make it happen in this country and then in this league as well. So we'll do together as a team, yeah.
Sabitra Bhandari, she is a Nepalese national hero.
I'm really thank you to be here, and thank you so much. This is the first time I never seen these types of welcoming and these types of love and support. So in Auckland there was it's like around 50 people. They welcome me, and then after that in Wellington as well. It was really a great moment for me. I always carry my flag, and also I love to make happy to Nepalese football fans. Playing for my country is like always proud and to motivate the new upcoming generation. My parents, they always support me on my journey, and just it's all about my mindset. I always focus my own goal, and then I did so many hard work in the pitch, outside the pitch, and to make me happy and to grow myself and then to prove myself. As a woman footballer, you know, in my the career, when I was childhood, at that moment I faced so many negativity from the society people, and that's how they think it's like the women, they can't play, and I always love to play with the boys. At that moment they avoid to go with the boys to play the football, and then I faced that.
Well, great to hear from one of the new stars of the Ninja A-League, and well, she has been very involved in the game so far, 20 touches so far, and of course a lot of involvement. You can really hear the fans here at Sam Kerr Football Centre, how much they have been supporting her. Of course, the leading scorer for the Nepalese international team. Well, let's have a look at some of those chances so far in this match. Of course, Lara Wall has been so dominant on that left flank for the Phoenix. You can see that connection with Salva really working well. Leon as well getting involved, putting that ball forward. And really, this probably was the strongest chance we saw in that first half. Samba just sending it a little bit too far over the top of the crossbar. Wall again, try and deliver it in. It's been some fantastic link-up play from Wall, Samba and Leon in particular, and somehow the now scramble, the post really helping out defensively for the Glory. And then Nunn bringing it back in. So a lot of chances very heavily in favour of Wellington, the travelling side. And of course, while we are talking about international football, we have to mention that the Asian Cup is coming up here in Australia early next year.
What you learn.
Oh, I say it's incredible!
Well, we're back for the second half between the Perth Glory and the Wellington Phoenix. Of course, the superstar, the Nepali internationals here, plenty of fans here, even though it is an away game, of course. It does look like we'll be seeing a substitution for Perth Glory too. So, Captain Isabel Dalton returning from injury in this game, and Emma Tova coming on, as well as a substitution. We're seeing Pia Block coming on for the Phoenix, replacing number 14, Lucia Leon, of course. Starting debut here. Block has been instrumental, the youngest ever scorer for the Phoenix, of course. That goal in the victory against Melbourne Victory. Tova, the player who has replaced the Glory captain. Dalton gone to the bench, so it has been a return from injury from her. Was also had to have some time with the trainer as well on the pitch, was brought down. Long throw. Walker. Barry. Holland as well. Badawea claims the ball. Takes a little skid off the touch of Jale, and again, Glory look to press forward, but in front of them is just a sea of white and green. Badawea now with the captain's armband for the Glory. And allowing that bounce to come for her to get underneath it. Glory win the ball back. Of course, Georgia H here with you on the late night distance derby this evening. Of course, local kickoff. Currently 8 p.m. in Perth, but 9 a.m. if you're watching this game across in Wellington. I know the Wellington Phoenix admin on the web, on X, or the website formerly known as Twitter, is asking for advice on how to stay awake to get this one, and I hope the Phoenix have definitely delivered in the excitement factor so far. None. Okay, looking long. Ball bounces in, and just so confident there from Zog to know that the next flight of that ball was going to go out. Well, almost looking like she used that elbow to really direct it forward. Samba to Vlock. Elliott now. It's spun by McKenna. Tiana McKenna leading the league in tackles for the Ninja A-League so far this season. Just getting underneath that ball to deny Badawea any opportunity. Seen a couple of goals for Badawea already in the season. Ollie Walker and Rola Badawea, opponents this evening, but played for the same team in Portugal last season. So the Glory coming into this match, sitting at the bottom of the table, have conceded 12 goals, the most of any team as well. And this period of time that we're currently in, this 15-minute, is the time where they've conceded almost half of their goals so far this season. It's a real dangerous time period for them. Holler concedes the foul, and another dangerous error. Apologies, Barry concedes the foul in a dangerous area. Cassidy floats down, West away. Johnston loads up the right boot, sends it long. It's a great grab for Victoria Essen. And missed last week's game. Well, the offside was the call in the end. Wrestle continues between these two. Bott looks back. Vandermeer. Block with plenty of pace coming on as a halftime substitute. Straight to Samba. Really wants to take on Zog. Samba, one way then the other. Headed towards Brooke Nunn, but he's always straying off target. Asking for a lot from that distance. Jale, plenty of pressure being applied by True.
Yeah, copy that, mate. Yeah, no worries.
Look. Directly in that battle with Grace Johnston. Cassidy now threading the needle through between two Phoenix players. Now Tova. True. Using her space out wide. And Vandermeer doing really well to just make sure she doesn't concede the corner. Have another look at what's been happening in the midfield here. Anderson, very strong. Come out looking. Corner for the Glory. There's been plenty of corners in this match. Cassidy now, great ball in. Hits the head of Holler. She calls for the corner on the other side, but Michaela Ryan points directly for that goal kick.
Brooke, here! Keep making the runs behind! Yeah!
Well, very direct and clear instructions there from Bev Priestman. Keep your block, keep making those runs behind. Samba now has some time and space. Samba, what can she do? Just drifting wide. Oh, both teams still looking for that first shot on target in this match, but another strong opportunity. Ball won well by the Phoenix, just a momentary lapse there from the Glory in their midfield. You hear the conversations as well from their coach Stephen Peters. So much of the work that he's been talking about is about that psychological side of the sport. It's about the discipline, not always the technique and the tactical. That was the big focus at the moment, and it's just those little moments like that where they lose the ball in a key situation. And when you have a player like Samba playing for the opposition, well, there's been a lot of sides so far that have been able to pounce on them at the start of this Ninja A-League season. Is that what's going to lead to potentially a stalemate being broken between these two sides? The difference wasn't this vast in the first half. Wellington again just continuously keep improving, and they go for another opportunity there. In time, the first touch of Samba just letting her down. And Morrissey with a strong grab. And another look at that opportunity there. Just Lara Wall sending it high. Looks like we have our first shot registered on target in this match. Vast quickly approaching that hour mark. Phoenix on the board for that regard. Who will get on the scoreboard first? Who will put their name on the score sheet? Look at that chance for the Glory. Just Walker running side by side with Badawea. From Bot rather. Down on one knee. Trying to intercept the ball. Great work from Tian McKenna. And look at those shots so far. 9 to the Phoenix. And tripled Perth Glory's attempts. There's a mistimed connection there. Wall is looking for that 1-2. A lot of beautiful play on display from the Phoenix. Plenty of enjoyable football to watch. It's just both teams, how are they going to get this ball into the back of the net? The flick on Block says thank you very much. Takes on Anderson, drives it centrally. Glestaway has to be the one to claim it. Pushed away by Zog. Looks like we potentially might be getting another change for the Phoenix. Great work from Pia Vlock. Just drives it in. And May just having that conversation with Bev Priestman. Being strong to come out and claim. So it also looks like Susan Fongsongkham will be making her way onto the pitch too. So a lot of rotation in that front three for the Glory as they look for goals, and the flag immediately goes up.
Would you like to do it now? Michaela will make a sub.
Substitution will happen. So it will be the end of Gabby Holler's day. The start of the night with Susan Fongsong Cam. Of course, Holler scored a brace in that round 1 game. Copped a heavy knock to the nose as well, but the introduction of Fongsong Cam, another proven goal scorer across her time in the Liberty A-League, hasn't scored so far this season, however. Looking to score her 10th goal for the Glories, her 11th overall in the competition. So very much an attack and sab from an attacking player. Well, didn't see a particularly high foul count across that first half. The numbers starting to rise now. Of course, that was the first one in the second half too. Oh, sorry, rather the second foul committed by the Phoenix in this second half. Cassidy goes along, not far off target. Could have gone for the absolutely spectacular. We saw Roller Badawi claim the honour, the goal of the month in November. Could it be a different Glory teammate for December? It's the end of the night for Brooke Nunn. The introduction of Emma Main. Another attacker for attacker substitution. Both teams struggling to find meaningful connection and possession, and connected players. Main, fresh legs, goes for the run. Emma Main connects with Samba and it skips past. Now the opportunity, and rattles around and Laura Wall. Just fingertips to it from Morrissey. Why wouldn't the crowd be loving this? It was an electrifying run from Main here. Able to beat her defenders. Able to hit her target in Samba, but just caught on the back foot. And then the follow-up shot from Lara Wall. Oh gosh, don't the Phoenix look frightening? Lofty ball in. Another. And the Glory defenders, you'd think they'd just be sighing relief here.
You got shin pads in?
Look. So Sarah O'Donoghue, player coming on. Georgia Cassidy, the player coming off. Donoghue's been known to score the spectacular too. He's had an, unfortunately, injury-ravaged career so far. positive signs to see. Paul Priestman spoke about that Samba was only meant to play 60 minutes last week. Anyway, it came off at the 58-minute mark. It's still on. Still making those runs. Great work from Elliott, claiming the ball. Looks to do it a second time. McKenna. Glory working well to get out of a difficult situation.
Sarah, where's your shape here?
I'll have a look there.
Right side of the diamond, where are you?
In the first half, I think
Sarah,
the
where
count
are you?
was 4 or 5 for Manai Elliott hitting the deck. Has not been an easy game for her in any regard. Been performing well. Wellington definitely dominating the passes. Samba does well. Morrissey a long way from her. Samba puts it up in the air. Jale looks to connect. Block was there. Cleared away by Zog. Again, when you look at those passes, this is the difference here. The way that Wellington are moving forward. Samba takes it in on the left boot. Samba, it's a great save from Morrissey. And she gets a massive round of applause from her defenders and from the fans too. Standing up in her debut game, it's a great shot from Samba, on target too, full stretch, full power. And while Wellington Phoenix attackers were ready to pounce on any loose ball. So Phoenix also edging out Perth on that passing accuracy front too. Barry using Jale as an outlet. Oh, the crowd getting even more rapturous. Samba putting it on a plate for Elliott, again sailing over the crossbar. Well, you can't say there haven't been chances for the Phoenix. Plenty of them, in fact. 14 shots so far. It's just the on target that they've been struggling with, just the 3 shots. If you look at the results across the season so far, it looks like binary code. Just the 3 goals scored, the 3 goals conceded in the matches so far. Is this going to be another binary game as it sits at 0-0? Here come the Phoenix. Kanawea tries to turn inside out. Jale taking ownership of the ball. Samba staggering her run a little bit. Main's there with fresh legs and enthusiasm, calling for it. And shoulder to shoulder, McKenna goes. It's a strong tug. And then, of course, Michaela Ryan's going to reach straight in the pocket there for Ali Walker. It's a blatant grab of the shirt from Fong Song here. Looked at being playing the advantage, but in the end calls it back for the foul. So the second yellow card in this game, the first to the Phoenix. Tova. Goes along. And then Essen calling for a play. Go back, go back. Plays the short option instead. And look at those shots in this game. 10 more to the Phoenix, more than quadrupling their attempts so far. 3 shots on target for Wellington, none for the Glory. Main heads it on. Has to really try and break through 2 defenders. Elliott's there for support. And great work from Zog, Nigerian international. Well, was coming in for support in the end, was pushed out. Let's have another look at that brilliant tackle from Zog. Just read the space, read the shoulders and the movement from Elliott. Just had that foot out, claimed all ball. And fouls conceded, 7 to Perth, 5 to Phoenix.
Susie Water, Susie Water.
Block. Great vision there to spot Elliott. Mania Elliott! And goes wide! The most right opportunity just flashes beyond. And probably the clearest cut chance of the evening thus far. Puts her hands on her head. Who's going to step up for either team in these moments? Great touch by Block. But back to Block, the teenager. She's clipped from behind. They keep playing it forward. Morrissey was sliding in, but just had the presence to let that ball flash behind her, take the time from the goal kick. Perth using this moment to really reset. Tova. Well, there's never been a draw in this fixture so far. In the previous 8 matches, been clear cut between the two sides. 4 wins to Perth, 3 wins for the Phoenix. The last win for Perth, the last game played between these two sides in February here at Sam Kerr Football Centre. It was a 2-1 victory. Lovely ball in Hong Song Cam. And Walker sees it out for a corner. Hong Song Cam. And it's in the back of the it! Perth have broken the deadlock! And it's something spectacular from the substitute. Wellington gets her 10th goal for the Glory and puts them in front. Directly from a corner. She goes with her team to celebrate. And it's an important goal at that. Fantastic effort from the attacker. Absolute venom on that hit. And that's huge for the Glory. They haven't scored in their last 3 games. They're back on the score sheet now. Well, that was the something spectacular that we were asking for in this match. The Phoenix have been on the front foot in not dissimilar circumstances last week. They had more shots on target. City only had the 1 shot on target, and that resulted in the goal that split the 2 teams. And again, it was similar circumstances last year when they were heading into Unite round against Adelaide United, where they were struggling to score. They had that trip away, they had that activity as a team, and that's how they found their first 3 points of the season and went on that little bit of a run afterwards. But now it's the Glory who lead in this match. Doesn't take much, just those little moments of magic. Have a look there. Well, Main just fouling the goal scorer in Song Cam. Over the delivery low, doesn't trouble Essen. On Main. Well, the foul count starting to even itself out as this game progresses. Ensuing free kick does not much to trouble any of the Glory defense, and honestly holding out that left hand, seemingly the pinky might almost be in an unconventional position at the moment. Just a little bit awkward on the grab. Have the trainer out, and I don't think either team would be too mad with this moment to take some time and have those conversations. It didn't look too troubling on the initial grab, but Morrissey almost immediately knew that something was a bit wrong. So just having the trainer there. As well, that Wellington Phoenix were looking to go to the bench pretty soon. Got some young talent on their list. Have a look. The question is, how do we cross the line? Everyone ran across to Susan Fongsong Cam. Always more likely to give it to the corner taker when that ball is whipped in the way it is. Well, we'll see back. So Daisy Brazendale coming on and Lara Wall coming off. So Daisy Brazendale, the player, coming on for Lara Wall, who's had another great evening, especially in that first half. But the Perth Glory, well, again, the stats from last week to this week for the Phoenix, not dissimilar, had most of the possession, most of the final third entries, the shots, but there's still just under 10 minutes of regulation time in this match. Of course, we've seen a couple of injuries too, so you can't help but wonder how that will be pushed out. Will they have the opportunity, or will Perth very crucially snap that 4-game losing streak, playing at home for just the second time at this season? And Stephen Peters almost alluded in his press conference this week that this is their true home here at Sam Kerr Football Centre. And it's nice to return here finally in round 7 of this season. Into the book again. This time directed at Bronte True. Let's have a look at that foul. Just a very high boot connecting into the face of Mackenzie Barry, and really no other option there to reach into the pocket.
You guys want to come up here? You guys got shin pads in? Yep.
So substitutions happening for Perth Glory. So Clancy Westaway in her starting debut, just her second appearance here. Victorian National Training Centre product coming off. Coming on, Bardaway coming off, and Alan Lincoln coming on too. So, well, seeing a third on-field captain this time. Grace Johnson will take the armband. So plenty of subs happening in the back end here. And Lincoln, of course, scored a late goal back in round 2 against the Raw at home. Didn't affect the final points and who ran out the victory in that match, but an important goal nonetheless. It was the last goal they'd scored up until a bit of magic from Susan Fongsong Cam. Well, Daisy Brazendale just to have a crack at it too. Lincoln is underneath the body of Barry. Johnston and Elliott colliding. Glory claim the ball. Around here. over. Back in from Zog. The flag goes up against Bronte True. Phoenix needs to keep the ball moving forward. Samba brings it down to her feet. Delivered just past Daisy Brazendale. Will slide very slowly out just along the sideline. Frustration's evident, considering the stats of this game and the relative feel of it too in terms of the opportunities created. But Glory, the other side in the lead. The points here, very crucial. There was only 2 separating these two sides coming into this match too. A win here could very much bring them off the foot of the table, put them as high as 8th place, jumping the Phoenix too. But the call there, very direct from Peters to Lincoln. Press up, calls at Havoc, via Pest, camp out. The scoreline isn't guaranteed for any moment. Brazendale over her own head. And stolen by True. Vandermeer giving chase. Bronte True. And it's great work from Barry. True goes to ground. We've seen the outfield sub's been made for Perth Glory. McKenna looks over her shoulder, knows the run of block. She's really grabbing at that right leg. Another look. Stole the ball well. Had it firmly within her pace. A clash of shins there between herself and Barry. Again, not long in terms of regulation time in this match, but a quasi drinks break, the unofficial one. Glory on the field, having those conversations. Phoenix having that chat with their coaching staff too. So True goes to that run. Well, it looked like an initial clash of shins and then the ankle there for True. In great discomfort at the moment, it must be said. He really hasn't quite gone back up onto the ground just yet. When he takes those first steps, seems to be getting more and more confident on it, walking off. Look at the XG in this game too. Wellington also having the upper hand here to Perth, but Perth having the goal. At the end of the day, it's what shows on the scoreboard there. Morrissey. So the fourth official has indicated there'll be a minimum of 5 minutes. Can Perth get their first home win of the season?
Emma! Pick her up, Satyanka, pick her up! Pick her up, Satyanka, pick her up! Tian!
Walker, back to Barry. And Perth Glory have come alive. Their press working overtime. It's dying minutes of this match.
Lincoln up now, Lincoln up! Lincoln up, get up, get up!
Great work there from Walker. Walker claims the corner at the very least. Elliott standing over the corner kick. A little flat, potentially just didn't have the pace behind it. They win it back, and again McKenna. Brilliant, consistently so far with her tackles this season. And her Jules one, Sato the play to clear it. And again, Morrissey doing well to just chip at the ball. Through the legs. And again, the desperate defense is on. Sky high by Sato. Again, the desperate defense. Well, the result stands as well. For the first time that Glory have held their opposition goalless since the 22nd of March, which they did so against the Western Sydney Wanderers, and that game was at home too. Brazendale, Jale pops up at the right time. Block, cuts inside, puts it on the left, shut down completely. Glory are alive here. They're desperate to hold on for good measure. No time is on their side. McKenna hitting down at the clock. Through the legs of True. Phoenix need to press forward here. Sato stops the run twice. crucial interventions here from the 30-year-olds. And Lincoln just has enough in her just to keep it there and wants to keep it in a dangerous position. And Michaela Ryan blows the whistle. This is how much it means to the Glory. Their first home win of the campaign. And they snapped that 4-game losing streak. They snapped that 3-game goalless streak. In crucial part thanks to Susan Fongsong Cam. But the Phoenix must feel hard done by. Second week in a row where they've dominated the statistics, the XG, the shots on target, the possession, the final third entries, but unable to score. And it takes a moment of magic from the other team to get their singular shot on target to be converted into a goal. So it's full time here at the Sam Kerr Football Centre. It is Perth Glory 1, Wellington Phoenix 0. Let's have a look to the highlights in the match. So of course there was plenty of action in that first half. Predominantly from the Phoenix, they were very, very much the side in control, especially in an attacking sense. And even though it wasn't consistently showing on some of the statistics, it was undoubting that they were the side that just so happened to have the upper edge, but just weren't able to convert. Teresa Morrissey in her A-League Women debut